Suits LA Episode 6 concluded the show's Lester arc, but I hope this isn't the end for the spin-off's best guest star so far. With the cast of Suits LA including 4 lead characters, the series won't always have the time to introduce and develop a lot of supporting players. For example, Leah did not appear in Episode 6. That said, a show like Suits LA can only be as good as its supporting characters, and that includes the villains. One of the best things about Suits was how, in addition to the smaller-scale cases of the week, the show would have overarching stories and recurrent antagonists. From Travis Tanner and Daniel Hardman to Charles Forsman and Anita Gibbs, Harvey and his friends were often going up against some very powerful characters. Therefore, the bar was high for Suits LA's villains. Fortunately, it seems like the spin-off has already found its first great antagonist, Elizabeth Smith. Lester's case being solved means Elizabeth Smith's Suits LA's future is uncertain. Suits LA's Lester storyline is over. Elizabeth Smith, played by Sophia Penas, has been Suits LA's main antagonist up until this point. As the district attorney prosecuting Lester, Smith was the adversary that Ted Black would have to battle in court to prove his client's innocence in his first ever criminal case as a defense attorney. From their very first interaction, it became clear that Elizabeth Smith was on the same level as Ted Black. The fact that Ted had once been a prosecutor himself didn't scare Smith, who even tried to use his new career as an entertainment lawyer against him during the Lester trial. That as much as I enjoyed Elizabeth Smith's role in the Lester arc, her future on the show is now uncertain. Suits LA Season 1, Episode 6, Dester, marked the end of the Lester murder trial storyline, meaning that, for now, there are no apparent reasons for Smith to return. Even her history with Amanda was fully addressed and explained in this week's episode, leaving little room for the prosecutor's story to continue in the near future. That said, Suits was known for bringing back previous antagonists for different storylines, and I hope Suits LA will do the same with Smith. Why Suits LA needs to bring back Smith with a bigger role moving forward. Smith could be Suits LA's first recurring villain. Ted Black and Elizabeth Smith in Suits LA Episode 6. We all love characters like Harvey Specter and Mike Ross, but they only work when there is a good opposition to them on the other side. The same applies to Ted Black and the rest of the Suits LA characters, all of whom have yet to show a little more, not only their skills but also their personalities. This is why having a strong villain who is ready to go up against them is so important. Of course, Suits LA should have plenty of other characters in store, but I would like to see Elizabeth Smith make another appearance. Smith could perhaps become Suits LA's version of Travis Tanner, especially because of her history with Amanda. Additionally, now that Smith is familiar with how good Ted is and how far he is willing to go to win a case, she could be an even better antagonist in another arc. Suits LA is still finding its identity, and nailing the villains, be they recurrent or not, is an important part of that process.